and welcome back.
Oh, we're recording already. I didn't know. I thought we had to. Sorry, should we just start again? Or is that the start?
That's the start. We started now. Sorry about Harry, everyone.
Are we actually doing it?
It's a daily. Do you want me to start it again?
No, that's quite funny.
Okay, well here we are. Do you know what? You only get one shot in life.
Yeah.
You've got to go for it, and
do
you
have to
missed
go for
it.
I missed it. In fairness, I didn't get action or anything.
Sorry, I'll be sure to hire a
I've been on the
director
set
next week.
all day, and it's just I'm so used to someone saying action when I have to do something. So if you want dinner later, you're gonna have to say Harry.
Action. I'm making dinner, so shush. Okay, everyone, we have.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
It's only embarrassing if you're embarrassed by it. You can choose not to be embarrassed.
We could also choose to cut it out, but we're not going to do that because
No, because no one's perfect.
No one's perfect.
You all gotta work it, again and again to get it right. Oh, my Hannah Montana stance.
Does that show your age a bit?
I'm not old, am I?
I'm not saying you're old. I'm just saying,
Yeah, maybe.
How many people, if you're a new graduate listening to this, you're about to graduate, or you just graduated, or you're graduating in the next summer.
Yeah, did you know what that was?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You were singing that thinking everybody knows what it is. I vaguely recognised it. But
I never really watched Hannah Montana, to be fair, but I just know the song now.
My sisters did.
Didn't have Disney Channel, so... Or maybe I did. I don't know. I just never watched it.
Well, it's not for everyone. It's not on anymore, so go and watch it.
Anyway, we have something much more important to chat about, Harry. A momentous occasion.
Have we said welcome?
Welcome. Wow, this podcast is off to a great start. I'm pretty sure I said welcome.
I missed it. Welcome. Hi. Welcome to Tea and a Chat with Harry and Zara.
We still miss Pat. Come back, Pat.
Episode 6.
Episode 6. Yes, this episode is all about knowing when to take a break, which we'll get into in a minute.
We will.
Once I have told them the momentous occasion.
The momentous occasion that I've detracted from.
Yeah.
Go. Action.
We both have tea. It's actually tea and a chat.
I was really like, what is it going to be? What's happened?
What could be more momentous than that? It took us 6 episodes.
What tea have we got? So we talk about that. I feel like that's because it's significant.
Maybe we should change it to just drinking a chat, and every week we'll have a different beverage.
Oh, darling. Beverage.
I have an English breakfast tea, but I'm a bit worried to drink it because Harry tells me off for slurping.
I don't tell you off for slurping, but...
That's so gross.
You see, you say it's gross, and I'm quite used to it, but you don't have to do it.
And you have to... Right, if anyone out there agrees with me, if you find it hard not to slurp hot drinks, comment down below, okay? Can you even comment on a podcast?
Well, I suppose it depends how you listening to it. I'm pretty sure you can. But yeah, I don't see... If you don't slurp other drinks, what's the need in slurping the hot one?
Close it down.
It's a load of rubbish.
Anyway, tell us what drink you have, Mr. I don't slurposaurus.
Asaurus?
Yeah.
That's funny. That's also something that we do to each other, because that's...
What?
Well, we say...
Slurp.
No. No. Let's get... We're way off track on this. There's taking a break and then there's taking a break.
Yeah.
This podcast is about taking a break as a performer in day-to-day life.
We need to take a break.
What I was gonna say, we've had the slurp conversation. You just said slurposaurus, which I suppose in fairness ties into this little segment. So we say this to each other ever so often. I don't know where it came from, but you say,
Ionosaurus.
Ionosaurus. We just say asaurus at the end of words.
Like a dinosaurus.
A dinosaur to the majority, if not everyone. Why am I saying this? This podcast is what?
Right, do you know what? Let's just stop now.
No, we've got to carry on.
But I mean, stop chatting about the nonsense and chat about what we're actually chatting about.
Yeah. Well, I've got a tea as well. What is it?
Peppermint tea.
No.
It's got a mango and passion fruit one from Whittards.
A mango and passion fruit tea from Whittards. If you'd like to sponsor us, Whittards, we'll drink a different cup every episode. Maybe we'll do 2 episodes a week.
That would be so good.
I'd be well up for.
I'd be way up for that.
I'd be way up for that, aye.
Right, Harry, come on.
No, but seriously, Whittards, if anyone from Whittards is listening, anyone knows anyone to do with Whittards, I don't care if you work front of house in a shop. If you want to sponsor us, we will happily drink or slurp different teas throughout our podcast journey from now and onwards and beyond. We're a big fan. So,
without further ado, let's get into it. Knowing when to take a break. Now, this...
No, I didn't mean to stop. For you. That's showing my age. That's Little Britain reference.
Oh, is it? I didn't get that.
There you see.
He's old, you see.
You can't... I don't know if we should mention... Little Britain's not been cancelled, really, hasn't it? So.
Yeah, let's move on from that, shall we?
Yeah. No, I meant to stop. Right.
Yeah, so this is sort of referencing being in the industry and, like, you know, getting caught up in everything that comes from being a dancer, an actor, a musical theatre performer, casting, direct, anything, you know.
Anyone. I think this translates into many different factions of life.
And do you know what? Even if you're not a performer, this is like, you can get so caught up in like...
Life.
Work
life.
The pressure of it but I think it does, especially performance. It's like, yeah. Good chat.
And that's the end of the podcast. No. So yeah, we're going to talk about work-life balance, really, isn't it? And,
sort of, yeah.
Giving yourself permission to take a minute for you to have a tea and a chat. You know what? If you're not doing it already, next time you listen to this podcast, because hopefully you'll love it so much there'll be a next time, we won't babble so much at the start.
We can't promise that.
Listen to the whole thing. Just just sit down, get yourself your own cup of tea, hot chocolate, whatever you want to drink, and just listen.
Do it now. Pause it. Make yourself a drink. Come back. We'll wait.
Yeah.
We'll be here when you get back.
Or should we do it real time? Just make another drink.
Yeah. Let's all go make a drink together. No.
We're getting so distracted.
I know. Sorry in advance. Anyway, maybe we need to take a break.
Maybe we do.
Okay.
Right. Well, let's do this, and then we'll take a break. Right. Let's get into it.
Yes. So, like I was saying, it's all. I feel like as a performer, it comes with the whole like being self-employed, but also like the. Depending on what you're doing, a lot of performers are not only like doing their performing job, but they do another job alongside it, you know. So
job to pay your rent or
exactly
pay your parents' rent or pay something.
Guess,
classes, tuition, whatever.
Yeah, our experience, the last couple of years, we were living in London, we were working a front of house job. We were also auditioning, taking classes, you know, like.
Well, you were teaching a bit as well.
Teaching, yeah, like there's a lot that goes into it, and I think
I've done running auditions in the past. Yeah, you can do all sorts.
That's the thing, and I think there's a bit of a pressure in the industry that is there's like a sort of I don't know what the word is, but it's made out like you have to be go all the time.
Yeah,
I
feel like it's a
bit
bit
like
to hustle. You've got to be on the train.
Yeah.
You know? That's the way I see it in my head, is you're on a train and it's a pretty quick moving train. And so if you get off, it's quite hard to get back on.
Yeah.
Which I disagree with.
I disagree too. We always used to say it's like, especially living in London, we feel like it was a bit of a hamster wheel. Like it's like everyone's running on the hamster wheel and everyone's like trying to keep up with each other and like not get knocked off the wheel.
Well, you literally think about hamster wheel. If we were running on a hamster wheel together, and I start running a bit faster.
Yeah.
That means you've got to run a bit faster, and you start running a bit faster than I just was, and I've got to. Do you know what I mean? You can't slow it down.
If you get off the wheel, you can rest, you can get back on, and you can be ready to go again. You know.
Take it at your pace.
Exactly. Anyway, so yeah, I think what we want to chat about in this podcast is just giving you the permission to sort of look at yourself internally and say, how am I feeling? Check in with yourself. What am I doing right now that is aligning with what I want, and what am I doing because I feel I should be doing it?
Do you feel you need a break?
Yeah.
We all know that feeling of say you've booked a holiday and you're like, I can't wait, I need it now.
Yeah.
You know? Do you need a break? That might just be a little telltale sign of you need a weekend to you. You need a day to just binge watch Lord of the Rings or whatever you want to do. Do you know what I mean?
Here's a question to ask yourself: is if you were to could you right now in your current self give yourself permission to take a break? And I don't just mean a day. I mean could you take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks off? Knowing that it's better for your mental health or your physical health or whatever it is right now, could you do that without guilt from either yourself or someone else? I think if there's a part of you that's like, no, I can't take that time, then you need to listen. You need to listen to us now, and you need to take that time. Yeah, I think let's chat a little bit about agent, industry pressure, things like your agent and stuff, because I think that's, I don't know, we both had agents, and I don't know what your experience is with them, but did you feel pressure about keeping?
Occasionally. I mean, my experience with having, I mean, if we keep it in the topic of having a break, and so with one agent I used to use Tagmin, which I'm sure some people will be familiar with. It's essentially, for those who aren't familiar, it's a shared calendar.
Tagmin's good.
You put in your, say, work schedule or any holidays or dentist appointment that you can't move. Then they go online and they can see that, or they can put auditions in there as well. So it's just a shared calendar. Quite a good piece of kit, really. But my experience would be I'd put in holidays, for example, and then I might end up getting a tape whilst I'm going away, and I would feel that pressure to be like, it puts you in that put me in a difficult position, because it's like, well, I've said I'm away, and now you have submitted me for something that I've now got a tape for, but I'm away and I don't have all my kit with me. For example, like I used to use a ring light for self-tapes. I don't take that with me when I go on holiday because I'm going on holiday. And when I say going on holiday, that might, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to Spain. I could be going somewhere else in the UK. And I think sometimes when my agent knew that, that's when they would...
Yeah.
But I'm still going away, That's how I felt. And it's like, I've put this on here because this is me time and I want this me time.
Yeah, you could be staying in your house doing nothing else.
I think it's important to say, though, if you were to get through a big audition for something you really wanted to do, obviously go do it. If you want to do do you know what I mean? It's take it as you feel about it. If you get an audition through for something that is... It's hard because it depends on your opinion, but isn't what you are perhaps striving for, and like, oh my God, I really want to do a commercial, for example. Don't get me wrong, great money. But if that's not, you take your break because you've earned it, and be strong in that. It's okay to tell an agent no. The thing is, with a shared calendar, as soon as you put that in, or even if you don't have a shared calendar, email, say I'm not available on this date, these dates, and be strong in that, I think as well, because if you're doing research and stuff and you're working really hard, you might know that there's auditions coming up for this particular thing, and you make yourself available for it.
I think as well, it's important to note, because I feel like it's a good thing we're coming from this at sort of two different angles, because you're talking about taking a break and taking a couple of days and saying you're not available on these days and whatever. I personally in the industry have had to take a step back and go, actually, do you know what? Sorry, everyone, that was Harry's neck, if you heard that.
Did you hear it on the
thing? Yes.
Oh, sorry.
I've had to take a step back and say, something's not right. Like, I need to take an indefinite amount of time to realign, work out what I'm doing. Like, I don't care what audition comes through. I need a minute, and I had to be strong in that to say, I'm not being the best I can be. I'm not putting my best foot forward. Something isn't right. I don't feel right. Something's not right.
Hit pause.
Yeah. And do you know what? It's funny because I feel like COVID was... Like, when we came back, when the industry started up again after COVID, this is when I felt like, whoa, I need a break. Which sounds silly because it's like, well, you've just had... However, I don't even know how long COVID went on for now, but for however long that was...
I suppose technically it's still ongoing.
I know, but like... where the industry stopped and we were all like moving our furniture out to do our dances in our bedrooms, you know, like I felt like I needed a break after that, and there was a lot of guilt that came along with that, because it's like, well, you've just had all this time off, the things just started to start up again. But it's not a break if your energy is still at something. Like, I was still taking online class, I was still constantly worrying about when the industry was going to start up, when was, you know what I mean, like there was
there's unpredictability within that.
Yeah,
a lot of unpredictability.
There was nothing in me that stepped back and was like, okay, what do I want to do? Where do I want to be? You know what I mean? So it's understandable that when things were starting up again and I was thrown back on the hamster wheel before I had decided what I wanted, I was like, oh my God, I need to get off. I need to... So yeah, I think it's important to, as you're listening to this, know that taking a break can look like taking a holiday, taking a couple of days, taking one day, taking, you know...
Whatever version it is, I think, Ed, tell me if you agree, I think it's important to stress, taking a break means stopping.
Oh, 100%.
That's what it means. Whichever way you do that, that's what it means. It means stop what you're doing, stop, just literally stop.
Stop. And that is okay. Like,
it's important.
Yeah, 100%. I do think within our industry, it's almost glamorized to be this hustling, like I don't know what the word is, but like you're always striving for something, which isn't a bad thing.
Oh, it's great to be proactive, but
it's great to have your periods of hustle and, you know, busyness and whatever, but it's also great to step back and just take a minute, and it's necessary.
Yeah.
It's not like, for example, if you were working a 9-to-5 job, you know, you would get up in the morning, you go to your job, you would finish at 5, you clock out, you go home and you chill, and then you'd have your weekends off, and then you'd have your 32 days holiday, whatever it is, I don't know.
This is the extra reason that you need to take a break, because if you compare...
Ice cream.
Oh yeah, there's an ice cream van going by. Which it often does. Anyway, they should take a break because they're ruining this pod. No,
exactly. We'll send this to them directly.
It's summertime. It's a small window in the UK. Go out, sell your ice cream. No, I was saying, if you compare a 9-to-5 to what performers, you know, your working performer would do, even if you're working a job in, say, the West End, you're on stage, or, you know, you're auditioning, whatever, you've got stuff you're going to do in the day, whether it's other auditions, workshops, classes. You're then going to teach, whatever. You then may go to another job in the evening, or you go to work your show in the evening. Do you know what I mean? You're working from potentially 9 till 11.
Yeah.
Like that, you're doing more, and you might be doing that 6 days a week compared to 5.
Of course, most people would work 6 days a week.
And so, like, if anything, having a break is more, you know, should be more of a requirement, in my opinion. You know, you're to get that work-life balance, you need to take those days.
Exactly, and it's the same, like, if you think about training or whatever, you still get, your 6 weeks holiday, don't you? Like, it's...
Yeah, Christmas,
exactly.
Easter.
Whereas, I don't think we, as performers, allow ourselves that time to recuperate, and then we wonder why we're feeling like not ourselves, or we feel like we're not putting our best foot forward in classes or workshops and whatever. And
absolutely,
it comes from taking that break, doesn't it? And I guess that comes with burnout. I think we both see a lot of that. We've both seen a lot of that in the industry.
Yeah,
people do get burnt out. It's exhausting.
Yeah, it is. I think. I mean, just going back to that reference of, say you are working 9 till 11, 6 days a week, you're burning the candle at both ends. It's going to burn out a lot quicker, isn't it, than if you just light it at one. Yeah. You know? So... And,
something we will talk about lots we have already and will continue to do so on the podcast, is this sort of, like, human-first approach to the industry. Like, despite what you were told or what you might believe or whatever...
It might feel like.
Yeah, what it might feel like. No one came out the womb reciting Shakespeare or doing pirouettes, or... Do you know what I mean? Like, we're all human beings, and we grew up, like, learning and before we were any sort of performer. You were not... Despite what someone might tell you, you weren't put on the earth to be a performer. It's what you love to do, and you should 100% go after that. But it's not everything that you are, you know. And I think when we put that sort of pressure on that, that's when the guilt of taking a break, and when you start to stop looking after you, stop looking
after yourself.
Yeah, thank you for that. But you know what I'm saying, like it's the human first sort of, that you've got to look after that human first before you can go into the performer side of yourself and be your best self.
Well, also, if you do that, it's going to take the joy out of it.
100%.
And if you're doing something you enjoy, and you're doing it to the extent that you then don't enjoy it anymore, you're going to be like, well, what the hell am I doing this for?
Exactly.
It's not that you're not going in the direction you started in the first place. So to step back and enjoy it. I mean, in a sense, for example, as an actor, you can literally chill out. Like I said earlier about sit back and binge watch Lord of the Rings. In a sense, you could argue that's work. Do you know what I mean? You're appreciating art.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that can be obviously not that that's. My point is, you gotta if you're enjoying something, you're gonna give yourself in such a better way. You're gonna conduct yourself, direct yourself, motivate yourself in a much healthier, more positive way than if you're just doing it for the sake of doing it. All the results are just, you may still get results, but they're not going to be good, or definitely at least feel as good as if you're like flying with it, you know, the wind's behind you. If you feel like you're pushing something uphill compared to pushing it down, it makes a difference.
I think, I don't know about your experience as an actor and stuff as well, but I definitely feel like there is this thing in the industry of, like, it's almost looked down upon. It's almost like you're less than for not being go all the time. And, like, you'll see things on Instagram, you'll be like, oh, this person's at class all the time, and why am I not doing that? Why can't I? Like, this person's booking this job and this job and this job. Whereas sometimes I just think the best thing for yourself is to have a break and let yourself have a break, you know?
Yeah, I think it's funny when you say that. One of the things that made me think of was social media can be a bit misleading.
It's everyone's highlight reel, isn't it?
Well, it's everyone's highlight reel, but you don't know when those highlight reels were filmed. Someone might be posting something every single day of the week. Doesn't mean they're actually doing anything. They're obviously spending their time editing and posting.
I literally
is one way of looking at it. I mean,
I put a video on my Instagram story a couple of days ago
of
me 2 years ago dancing, and I was thinking, wow, I don't look like that anymore, but you know?
What do you mean? Oh, you mean because you put it on and it's from ages
but people
ago.
might think, well, I specified it was 2 years ago, but my point is I could post that and people would think that was me now. I was in my pyjamas at home taking a much needed break, you know? Like, it's
interesting. Also, going off this, it makes me think about, I feel like in getting agents, someone said this to me, do you want an agent who's always posting stuff online? I know agents like to post when clients have got jobs and stuff, but I can't remember where I heard it, but someone once said, I heard or read or saw something somewhere about someone saying, do you really want an agent who you see posting all the time? Would you rather than just be like grafting for you? Do you know what I mean? Behind which, again,
it doesn't mean they're not grafting.
It doesn't mean they're not,
post,
absolutely.
I understand
but
what you're saying.
It's an interesting thought to have in regards to social media. You know, if someone's posting stuff on social media, unless it's maybe a bit more productive, and I don't know, there's many ways of looking at things, but that's, for me, I would think about that. It's one of the things that's come to the surface when you mentioned it.
Of course. Yeah, I guess, so the underlying thing with taking a break, knowing when to take a break, trusting yourself, like trusting that, or knowing that you're allowed to do that, I guess, is it's accepting that you've got nothing to prove. Like, you're in the industry, you're a dancer, you're an actor, you're a performer, because that's what you want to do at the end of the day. You're not doing it for anyone else, and if you are, then you're not going to have longevity in the industry, because it's tough. You can't do that for anyone else. It's not
healthy for you, is it?
Exactly. So if it's what you want to do, I think sometimes the bravest thing to do is step back and say, I need this time, you know? And yeah, taking a break can inspire something else, can it?
Absolutely. Go for a walk in nature, listen to some music. there's some things that's something I like to do. But like that, inspiration is everywhere.
Yeah.
If you,
but when you're on the hamster
yourself,
wheel, you don't get to look around and see it. Sometimes
if we go back to the train reference, it's going so quickly you don't get time to look out the window.
Exactly.
Whereas if you stop and watch something pass you by, that might become... You see something, you go out for a walk and you hear a piece of music and then you see a flower and you create, say, a dance piece on that then becomes... You never know, it could become the most pinnacle piece of dance since whatever.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Let yourself be inspired, because that will encourage and grow your creativity.
Yeah.
Because that's what sets us on the path in the first place, is it not being inspired?
Yeah.
So I think inspiration and having the time to feel it is very important, in my opinion.
Am I allowed to quote Winnie the Pooh right now? Are you going to judge me hard if I
Absolutely
quote Winnie the Pooh? Okay, great.
Quote whatever you like.
I love Winnie the Pooh.
As long as it's something good. Don't go quoting anything like this, like not appropriate, okay?
Winnie the Pooh said, sometimes the very best something comes from nothing. And that's exactly what we're talking about, isn't it?
That's very true. Good quote.
You can be doing absolutely nothing and an idea falls in your brain.
Yeah.
But your brain needs to be clear enough and you need to be aligned enough to hear that, you know? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, that's really good. I feel like we should finish that.
Yeah, I like that.
No, I do. I think that's really good. That's really good. I really like that.
So yeah, I hope that felt beneficial. I guess what we're trying to get out there, and it's something I do feel quite passionately about, is I want you to leave today and have a minute to yourself and say, how do I feel? Do I feel super great? And can I go into classes and hustle and whatever? And if that's yes, then great. You go. Amazing. If you're like, I need a weekend to myself actually. Do you know what? I need a bubble bath. I need a large glass of wine. I need to watch Harry Potter or whatever you like to watch, you know. But if that's what you need to do, great. Or if you look inwardly and say, actually, do you know what? I do not feel great. I've not felt great for a while. I'm going to go home for 4 months, you know. That is okay too. And if you need anyone to tell you that's okay, you get in contact with us, because we will. Oh yeah, we'll support. But trust yourself. You know, you'll know deep down, whatever you might tell yourself, you'll feel it in your gut. Yeah, you know what's right. You need. And only you know what's right for you. Absolutely. No one else, not your agent. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. Ideally, you'll be surrounded by people who support you, I think, ideally. 100%. But you, at the end of the day, just do what's right for you, because that's what's important. Yeah. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks or says. Easy to say, but trust me, it'll be worthwhile. It'll be very character building down the line. Exactly. And as well, if you look at people who are successful, we'll get into the word successful another time, but quote unquote successful in the industry, and I don't know, something that you aspire to be. If you look at their journey, it's not linear. They didn't I can guarantee you, I do not believe there's a single person out there that has been hustle, has never had a break, has never had a stop, and has been had a long, quote unquote successful career. You know, do you agree or not? I do agree. Well, again, in a sense, it makes me think of social media. Go on social media. Everyone loves posting the holidays on there. I know. So you'll get a bit of both. I know. People do take breaks, even if it may seem like they don't. Exactly. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us for another week of Tea and a Chat. Yeah, hopefully this was insightful. As always, we love a ramble, don't we? We do love a ramble. I hold my hand up and apologise for the beginning of this podcast. I feel like that was a little bit on me. But as always, hopefully you got something from it. If not, don't worry about it. It doesn't need to resonate for you right now. Yeah, take what you want, leave what you don't. Please contact us in some way if you want to hear anything particular. Definitely. If you've got any questions about anything we've said already, if you agree, disagree, we're welcome to opinion. Yeah. If you're in the northeast area, please feel free to drop in any of our classes. We'll see you next week for another podcast. We will indeed. We love you. Bye. Bye. You have been listening to Tina Chat with Quartz Academy.
If you have any questions or things you want to know, visit our website at www.quartzacademy.co.uk or email us info@quartzacademy.co.uk.
You can also find us on our socials, Instagram, Facebook and TikTok.
Thanks for listening.
We're so happy you're here. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.